Then I told Miss Kay, I have an idea. I taught school, teaching school at the time, not making much money. I said, Miss Kay, this thing tops out at about 40,000 a year if you stay with it till you
Yeah,
retire.
get all the way to the
I
top.
said, that's the most we'll ever do. I said, I think I can beat it. She said, how are you going to beat that? I said, I reached in my pocket. I said, you see this duck call? She said, yeah. I said, I need to get this on the market. I know it will sell because it sounds like a duck. I know it will work. Here's my plan. Why don't you find me a place on the river that's not landlocked? I said, I need to be on a river that runs to the Gulf of Mexico. If we want to go to the Gulf of Mexico, we can just take off and leave. I said, I don't want it landlocked. I want to be free to travel far as I want to go in either direction. I said, find me a place on the river. I'll fish the river and we will survive off the money I make from the fish. I said, I'll get the duck call on the market and you will have that long green in your pocket. I said, God will bless us.
This is something I was taught. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to have your lawnmower money. So where I grew up, you'd cut lawns while you built your business. So you didn't take handouts, you borrowed the least amount that you possibly could, and you had something to survive on. You didn't look for the government.
That's
you
right.
looked for your lawnmower money. You take the extra job delivering pizza or doing
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And great entrepreneurs do that.
Yep. So we started out like that. My buddies got wind of what I was doing, my college buddies, and they drove down here, guys I played ball with, and they pulled up down here one day. It was a carload of them, and I'm out there patching one of those nets, hook nets, that I'm using to catch fish. Beavers and stuff cut holes in them. So I'm patching this net, and I look up, and they drive up. They walked over there, they looked around, and they said, Robinson, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm fishing the river to survive, selling these fish. That's why I'm patching this net, boys. I said, I'm going to fish the river with these nets, trot lines and stuff, until my duck call takes off. I'm working on that too. I said, I fish, run my nets, come back, work on the duck call. I said, once the duck call takes off, I said, I'll be good to go. I'll rack my nets, won't have to fish anymore. We'll just live off what I make with the duck call. I said, that's the plan. They said, but you have 2 degrees. I said, I know it. I said, if I need them, if this doesn't work,
You got a backup.
I'll fall back on them. I said, but right now, fish and duck calls.
How
They
long
got
did
back in their rig. See you, Robinson. All right, so they drove away. They told me later, they said when we drove up the road, we all looked at each other and said, the boy is an idiot. He's a complete idiot. He's down there catching fish for 30 cents a pound. I mean, is he nuts?
How long did it take for the duck calls to take off?
30 years later, they said, we looked up and we said, that sucker is a genius. I went from an idiot to a genius, but it took 35 years.
That's your third key. You told me hard work.
Hard work. So the hard work, and you say, and you're generous to your neighbor and to your God while you're at it. You don't withhold anything from God. You know where it's coming from. You read the text like in Malachi, he said, look, you can test me. The only time I've read in the Bible that you can test God, he said, you test me, you be generous toward me, and you see if I don't fill your barns up, loaded up, tamped down, and running over. I will bless you, but you have to be generous toward me. Well, I never forgot that when I was fishing. I was generous toward God with a lot less. But as the blessings came, I became more generous and more generous. And the more generous I was, the more came in.
More
I was
God
like,
bless you.
man,